Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the chosen. If you find this resonates with you in any way, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know how it resonates with your circumstance. So, chosen, I want to come on and talk to you all about the importance of acting on your visions, acting on your creative ideas, and the significance of how that creative idea can literally be swiped from underneath your feet in a moment's notice. So I'll tell you a little bit of a situation that I had it had to be about 15 years ago. I used to have this issue with allowing a lot of mail to just pile up, right? I hated opening mail, and I just thought it was the most daunting task, like just dealing with all of this paperwork, having to organize it and, not knowing what to keep and what to throw away. And I thought to myself, I was like, well, there needs to be some sort of gadget that allows you to take all of this and put it into a file, like a computer chip or something, where you're able to go back and access it later. Now, mind you, I had not done any research to even find out that there was any tools available at that time. I don't even if it existed, I couldn't afford to get it. Okay, times were rough. But I had this vision, and I had drawn it out and written it down. I had no clue about manifesting, no clue about thoughts becoming things. I mean, I was completely asleep. But one thing that I knew is that there was a need for this particular tool. I knew this. I knew I couldn't be the only person that hated dealing with piles and piles of mail and had a difficult time with, knowing what to keep and what to throw away. So I had this vision, and I thought about it a few times, and then I let it go off into the ethers. Of course, later on down the line, I come to find out that yes, now there's many different gadgets that you can use in order to store information and not have to keep the physical documents there in your possession, but you can always go and access it and print it out. I say that to say I had many of these types of creative ideas that would be like fleeting thoughts. Some that I would write down, some that I would literally draw blueprints of. And this was all in my sleep state, though. But my creativity was at an all-time high in terms of knowing that there was a need for particular things, but never actually following through with the practical effort to bring these things into fruition. This is a common theme for a lot of people. Now, consider when we're talking about collective consciousness, the akashic records, we are definitely recognizing that everyone has thoughts, right? Everyone has creative ideas. Everyone has visions, desires. And your thoughts are energy. You know this. And you also recognize that energy cannot be destroyed. It can be transferred, it can be transmuted, but it cannot be destroyed. And so then the question becomes, where do these thoughts go? Where do these creative ideas go when you don't act on them? Where do they go? They don't just disappear. Even if they never come back to your mind, they have now been placed in the eternal library, also known, aka the Akashic Records. Now, consider the eternal library is literally a collection of thoughts from every single being that has a consciousness, right? Every single being from the beginning of time to present time to future time. The eternal library consists of every single thought, emotion, and action. It's all there, recorded, readily accessible to you. This is why on my channel, I'm able to do past life readings. I'm able to tap into what happened many lifetimes ago, just off the strength that that information is in the eternal library. It has not gone anywhere. So with that being said, when you have a creative idea and you don't act upon it. Matter of fact, leave a comment in the comment section below. You don't have to say what that creative idea was, but leave a comment and let us know, have you ever had an idea and next thing you know, someone else has come out with it? Have you ever had an idea and the next thing you know, someone else has come out with it and it actually turns out to be very successful and you kind of kick yourself like, why the heck didn't I act on that? I've had many. It's very important to recognize that the eternal library is the collective consciousness and therefore it is accessible to everyone. It is not simply isolated for you. It's almost like a library is full of books, but each book is written by a specific author. So that part is your energetic blueprint. Yes, your book. This is your book. Your thoughts, your experience, your emotions, your actions are all inside of that particular book. So let's just say if we're looking at alphabetical order, your name is Samuel. So Samuel's book, that's specifically your information that you have projected out into the universe, past, present, future. And the same thing goes for Tamisha. That's her book, past, present, future, whatever thoughts she's had, ideas, emotions, actions, all of that. Every last one of us has our own specific book. But consider anytime you walk into a library, there's no such thing as, Paul can't look at Tamisha's book and Tamisha can't look at Samuel's book. No, you have access to every single book that is in that library because it is readily available information to the public. Same thing goes for the akashic records. When you have a specific thought or an idea that you do not act upon, that idea goes out into the ethers, gets placed into the eternal library, and it is very possible that someone else will capture that thought. Not because they went looking for it saying, oh, I want to see what was Tamisha's vision. Let me see what's her vision so I can steal it. No, it's because that energy is still very much so present. And if that creative idea that Tamisha has is not acted upon, but let's just say Tamisha had that idea and in another state over there in Pennsylvania, Thomas had that idea, and somewhere out in Florida, Randy had that idea. It's been given more energy. That particular creative idea has been given more energy. But consider, all of these people have had the same vision, a very similar vision, but none of them acted on it. But they've given it more life. Okay? So now you have a few people and then, okay, you have yet another person, yet another person, yet another person. They're giving more life to this idea, but no one is acting on it. That idea, that vision, that energy now has more resonance. And so one day, Cassandra could just be laying in her bed and she could get that idea. And in Cassandra's mind, hey, this is her vision, right? It came to her. A lot of people say, oh, this thought just came to me. Well, what do you think that means? When a thought comes to you, that means that thought, that particular vision wants to be brought to life. Okay, it is a life source. It has a consciousness. Why? Because it is the collective consciousness of Samuel, Paul, Lakeisha, and quite a few people who have already placed a lot of thought into this particular creative idea. So when Cassandra says this thought came to me, literally that thought, that vision found Cassandra, because Cassandra will be the very person to bring life to that particular vision. Not only would she think about it and envision it and, entertain herself with the idea of fulfilling this particular vision, but she would also bring that vision to life by putting forth the practical effort to make it tangible. So now it's no longer just sitting out in the ethers as energy, but it is now brought down into the physical 3D manifestation as a tangible product or service. And you'll have all of those other people that had that thought all across the globe, like, dang, why didn't I act on that? How did she took my idea. She took my idea. Well, guess what? Nobody can technically, they didn't take it unless you made it, like if you patent the vision and you hadn't yet brought it into fruition, like physical manifestation. But consider, once a vision is placed on paper, this is why I talk to everybody about writing things down, whether you are writing it down on your candles or writing your visions down on paper. I strongly suggest you write it on candles, because you're now pairing that thought with the element of fire, which is the fuel that it needs to bring it into fruition. Okay. But if you choose to write that thought on paper, you've now pulled it down from the 5D atmosphere, and you've now brought it down into the 3D manifestation. And now it has materialized beyond just your vision, beyond just your mind, beyond the akashic records. You have now placed it on paper. So now that's the first step to bringing that thing into fruition. But you can't just stop there. There has to be more focus, more practical effort in order to bring that vision to life. So consider that every thought that you have is contributing to the collective consciousness. Okay. And this is also going to shape the direction of humanity. Every thought that you have is contributing to the collective consciousness. So none of your thoughts are in vain. But when it comes down to a creative idea, just know that if you do not take action beyond just visualizing it, it is being placed into the akashic records. It is being placed into the eternal library, which is readily accessible to that person who vibrates on the right frequency to bring that thing into 3D physical manifestation. So it is very, very vital that if you have a vision and this is on your heart, it's time to take action towards it. But also consider, sometimes, because humanity has a collective consciousness, there are particular things that we subconsciously know we need, right? We subconsciously know we need these things in order to have a better quality of life. And so a lot of times it'll be just the subconscious need of evolution, the subconscious need to evolve beyond where we are, that'll place a frequency out there to where it's like, okay, yes, multiple people have had this vision, but only one person is capable of bringing it into fruition because they possess the skills, they possess the creativity, they possess the confidence, they possess the resources, they possess the drive and the passion to bring it through to fruition. Many people can have the vision, but quite often there's only that one person that resonates on the vibrational frequency of that vision to bring it into fruition. So it is up for grabs in a sense, but this is why it's so very vital to do the spiritual work on yourself on a regular basis, so that when you have creative ideas, no one else is vibrating higher than you to take that thing. No one else is vibrating to the degree where they are better suited to bring that vision into fruition. You want to align with every aspect of that creative idea so that you are able to bring it to life. If you have an idea that the collective consciousness that humanity needs, that's a big vision, okay? Especially if it contributes to the evolution of humanity. If this is an idea and you know a lot of people need this, just know that when it gets out into the akashic records, out into the eternal library, if there's another person somewhere else across the globe that has a similar vision, but they are better suited vibrational wise to not only receive that vision, but to also bring it to life, they will ultimately do it, because this is a need that the collective consciousness maybe subconsciously needs, but not consciously recognizes. Only a few people consciously recognize what that vision should look like, and only one person will be on the right frequency to bring it all the way to life. I hope this message gave you all some clarity about how this thing works, and it equipped you with what you need and the confidence that you need. And if you find that there are certain things that you just don't possess in order to bring your big vision to life, you know that thing is big. You know it has the potential to make you millions of dollars. You better make sure that you are preparing yourself internally and externally to align with that vision, because if it is something that the world needs, someone else will align themselves to bring it through to fruition. So definitely make sure that any scarcity mindset, fears, insecurities, lack mentality, fear of stepping out of your comfort zone, fear of investing in your visions, all of these things must be cleared and removed in order for you to expand your etheric body to be big enough to hold that vision and to manifest it into 3D reality. That's my message for you all. If you have a specific vision and you're like, look, I really want to act on this thing, I don't need to know what the hell the vision is. Absolutely not. But I can tell you, if you want to get a personal reading and you're like, Shavi, what vibration do I need to be on? What do I need to manifest within me in order to be on the right frequency to align with this big vision? Definitely reach out and get a message, get a reading from me. Y'all know that the link is in the description box for you to schedule your own session. You can ask as many questions as you need, and we will dive deep to see what is needed in order to bring that thing to life. That's my message for you all. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to y'all next time.